friends, my name is Pratik Oswal and I head the passive funds team at Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company. So I take care of all the index funds and ETFs that you've been seeing over the last few years. And I would like to thank you for all the support that you had for the funds. Today we're very excited to announce two new funds that we're launching. We're launching the Motilal Oswal Nifty Momentum ETF and Nifty Momentum Index Fund. So these two are a part of factor indices, which are very, very popular. They're becoming very popular, and we see that a lot of investors are going to like these products for their qualities. So today I'm going to be talking about what factors are and why the Nifty Momentum Index is a very interesting factor for your investment allocation. So what is factors? So today when it comes to investing in passive funds, all of us are very popular, or we know a lot about Nifty, Sensex. We've also heard of S&P 500, Nasdaq, and we have a lot of debt indices, and we also have heard of mid-cap and small-cap indices. So these are very simple, broad-based index funds and ETFs. And these are the most popular funds that you could think of in India and also outside of India. But there's this new category that not a lot of people are talking about, and that is called factor investing, or it's under a category called rules-based investing. So I think rules-based investing is done really well across the world, and we believe that rules-based investing will also do really well in India. When it comes to India, so there's two sorts of funds. One are called quant funds, and the other one are called factor funds. Within quant funds, a lot of investors don't actually know what the rules are. So it's essentially very similar to a black box strategy, where you have a strategy which is kept secret because obviously the mutual fund company does not want to give out their secret sauce. But the other side of rules-based investing are called factor indices, and these are indices where you could invest in a particular strategy. So suppose you wanted to invest in a quality strategy where you only want to invest in the quality stocks within the top 100 or top 200 companies in India. You could do that through a factor index. If you only wanted to invest in the top 50 value stocks or the lowest, the cheapest stocks out there, you could do it through a value strategy. If you want to invest in the top 30 momentum stocks, the stocks that have done the most, have shown the most growth in terms of stock price, you can do that through a momentum index. And there's also something called a low volatility index, where if you want to only hold stocks which exhibit very low volatility, which is basically very less risk in terms of price movements, you can do that through a low volatility factor. So factors are extremely popular all around the world, and they are very simple rules-based investment. Very big market in the US. We expect it to be about $3.5 trillion, which is more than India's GDP when it comes to factors. So what we've also seen is that factors actually have demonstrated over the last 15 years that they're able to outperform broad-based indices like the Nifty 50 or the Nifty 500. So a lot of investors who are looking to add to their core portfolio can really look at factors in a very big way. So if you look at quality or low vol or momentum, all these three factors or strategies have done really well. They've actually outperformed the Nifty. So I think a lot of investors are seeing a lot of promise in these factors when it comes to their investments. So what are we launching? So Motilal Oswal is launching an ETF as well as an index fund. So we're launching two funds. What we've learned is that investors tend to like ETFs, but also a lot of investors tend to like index funds. So we as a house are able to give both options to investors through these two funds. So a lot of investors who like ETFs but don't want to invest in index funds can look at the Momentum ETF. And investors who prefer the index funds because of its simplicity can invest in the Momentum Index Fund. So we are launching the Momentum. So what is Momentum? Momentum is a factor where all that matters is price. We are launching a Momentum Index where out of the top 200 companies in India, so the Nifty 200, the factor or the strategy would choose the top 30 highest momentum stocks within the top 200 names. And what is momentum? Momentum is simply prices. The companies that have done the best in terms of they have the highest momentum, will be the ones, in this index. So price is everything, and essentially the whole strategy about momentum investing is to buy high and sell higher. Momentum we've seen is worked in India, it's worked in the US, it works across asset classes and geography. It's the most popular strategy or the factor out there. And we've seen that historically, it's also done really well in terms of performance, compared to the Nifty. Just to give an example, the Nifty Momentum 30 index has given close to 25% and 25% over the last 10 years, whereas the Nifty has given about 16.5%. So what we've seen is that it has really outperformed the benchmark over a long term, over a very long time. And a lot of investors who are looking to get access to low cost strategies that have the potential to be the benchmark and look at the Nifty Momentum Index. Even at the SIP level, what we've seen is that the Nifty Momentum has done about 24% returns for an SIP investor over the last 10 years, which we believe is extremely good when it comes to your investments. A lot of people in the industry think factors will give you alpha. Well, over the long term, it has shown that in history it's shown alpha. But we believe that investors should also keep in mind that just like any other managed strategy or an active strategy, there are times when a factor also underperforms the index. So very important, factors do underperform. So investors should not feel that this always outperforms the index at all times. In fact, historically, momentum has done well, but it's very hard to say how it will do in the future. But what we've seen is that it's one of the best factors out there and very good for investment performance. In terms of looking at history, we've seen that momentum has underperformed in 3 out of the last 15 years. So overall, at least historically, it has done really well, compared to the Nifty. And we believe that, it can be a great addition to your core allocation, which can be a Nifty 500 or any other broad-based mutual fund out there to really boost your returns, in a significant way. So that's about the momentum strategy. We would love to say that this NFO will be open on the 21st of December of January, and this will end on the 4th of February 2022. And we look forward to having a lot of your support on this NFO. Just to conclude, we are launching the Momentum ETF and the Index Fund. It's a part of a factor indice where it comes under a category where investors can expect some sort of outperformance from the index. However, saying that, investors should keep in mind that this will not outperform at all times. So investors need to be wary of that when you're investing in this fund. So thank you so much, and looking forward to your participation.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.